Hi there, my name's Tav Claudine and I'm going to tell you about 20 super interesting football facts. The first ever black professional football player was Arthur Wharton. He was born on the Gold Coast, which is now Ghana, and he was Rotherham United's goalkeeper way back in 1899. In Football World Cups, the most common score is 1-0, whereas in the English top division, which is the Premier League, and also its predecessors, the most common score is 1-1. The Unlawful Games Act of 1541 was an Act of Parliament in England designed to prohibit several new devised games such as football and tennis that caused, as the government said, the decay of archery. Football is often called soccer around the world. The reason for this, it was first coined by Charles Rayford Brown way back in 1863. At the time, in Oxford universities, students made names for lots of things such as rugger for rugby and soccer for association football. The word referee originated in association football. In the old days, the sport of football was played by gentlemen. Any disputes would be resolved by the two captains on the pitch. As the sport evolved, the captains had to concentrate on playing and they were replaced by umpires. Each team would bring their own. Sometimes these two partisan umpires couldn't agree on a decision, and so, later, a third neutral official was introduced. This official would be referred to if the umpires could not resolve a dispute, and so the referee was born. The referee did not take his place on the pitch until 1891, and the two club-supplied umpires would become linesmen, or as we now know them, assistant referees. Barcelona was so impressed with Lionel Messi when they first saw him play for Newell's Old Boys in Argentina that they knew they had to act fast and get him to put pen to paper. His first contract was signed on a napkin. Also, when we are talking about Lionel Messi and communication, when he tried to activate his release clause from Barcelona in 2020, he sent this request by fax. In the early days of football, there were no fouls. It was a game played by gentlemen, and so all that was needed was an apology if there was any ungentlemanly behaviour. England is often credited for hooligans in the football game. Indeed, English clubs were banned from European competitions for a while because of it. However, in 1 AD, the crowds were fighting each other in Pompey's amphitheatre. The locals and visitors from Nicaea started with verbal abuse of each other, then stone throwing started, and eventually they were fighting each other with weapons. As a result of the violence, Emperor Nero banned sports gatherings for 10 years. In the 1974 Football World Cup, which was hosted by Germany, Zaire somewhat abused the transport privileges when they were caught using the official transport bus to take them all the way back from Germany to Zaire. The smallest attendance at a Football World Cup finals match was just 300. The infamous match was between Romania and Peru during the 1930 World Cup in Uruguay. Edson Arantes de Nascimento's nickname is Pelé. Some say he got this from the skill he had at pelada, which is a street game of football played in Brazil. Founded in 1857, Sheffield FC is officially recognised by FIFA as being the oldest association football club in the world. Ronaldinho, at the age of 13, scored all 23 goals in a 23-0 victory against a local team in Brazil. Fernando Peirotio's goal-scoring record is nothing short of ridiculous. In his career for Sporting Lisbon, the Portuguese managed a staggering 331 goals in just 187 games. That's a ratio of 1.77 goals per game. AS Adema 149, So Le Emrin 0. This was a match played on the 31st of October 2002 between two teams in Madagascar. So Le Emrin intentionally lost the game against their arch-rivals AS Adema in protest over refereeing decisions that had gone against them during a 4-team playoff tournament. They scored 149 own goals. 5 times winner of the Football World Cup, Brazil played their first international game in Rio de Janeiro against another powerhouse of the game, Exeter United. Brazil won the game 2-0, but there was a rumour that the Exeter team had left the pitch early because it was too hot to play. It is possible to have a square football pitch if you have the maximum regulation width and the minimum regulation length. Then your pitch measurement would be 100 yards square. A regulation football match is 90 minutes, but the ball is in play for an average of only 62 minutes. The clock runs continually, and when the ball is out of play for a throw-in or being returned slowly for a corner, this all results in the lost 28 minutes of action. The Jules Rimet Trophy, or the Football World Cup, was stolen in 1966, but luckily it was found by Pickles, a dog. The trophy was found wrapped in newspaper. The penalty spot in football was invented as a time and cost-saving measure in the late 1800s. Originally, the penalty line was drawn completely across the whole pitch. Thanks for listening to these 20 interesting football facts. If you've liked this video, please hit the like button, subscribe and turn on the notifications so you can be the first to hear about new content I'll be uploading regularly. Check out tavclaudain.com for much more sports content, including facts, trivia, jokes, podcasts, quizzes, and much, much more.